Callers. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight. Oh my goodness, you guys have made it through the week. This is your third class. Go ahead and give yourself a little pat on the back for making it through 3 straight days of S.O.A.R classes with us. We're so happy that you're here. Um, so I just wanted to make a few announcements before we jump into our Pitch Perfect class for tonight. Just wanted to remind you of the project. So we went over that in detail yesterday. Just wanted to keep that top of mind. It's been emailed to you. It was in the Google Classroom. It was dropped in the chat a few times yesterday. I can add it again. If you're still in need of it, please reach out to me directly so I know you have it. Um, your final projects and your pitch are going to be due the day of class next Thursday, October 2nd. And so you're going to be submitting your projects to info@letsoarnj.org. And then your pitch is going to be performed in class on next Thursday, October 2nd. And class will begin at 6:30. So all of this will be emailed to you. I don't want you to feel like you have to keep anything of your brain. We just want to make sure we highlight it for you so you have the information. I also wanted to share, we're switching gears a little bit for this Thursday. Typically, we would have game day with you all. We're actually going to move game day to Tuesday. So Tuesday is your practice pitch class. You'll have a little bit more time to study, to look at all your materials, and also most importantly, have more class time with Miss Kiana today. We want to make sure you get all that you can out of this class, as this is our last instructional class of the fundamental series. So you are really making a milestone today. So if you have any questions, again, you could put it in the chat. Definitely let us know. And without further ado, I'll pass it to Professor Kiana. So, Professor Kiana, just so you know, we still see the
I know. I'm
audience
having
window.
I'm
Can
having
you
one of
X out? Can you click X and just see what happens there? I'm just
benefit
wondering.
me all the way
Okay.
out. Quick question. I
So
just want to see
I
if
have
this
a
works.
question.
Oh,
Is this better? Can you see
I have a
this or
question.
no?
I didn't receive the email.
okay, Nadia. I'm not sure what email you're referring to. Are you saying for class tonight you didn't receive the email?
I didn't receive the email about the final project. That's due Thursday.
We can send a separate email to you regarding it, just with some of the details I shared just now. But you should have received the end of course project details. That's been in every email since Tuesday. So you should have the actual project guide. So the only thing I'm going to be sharing with you is that it's due next Thursday, October 2nd, which is on your schedule. So that also you should have, but I'm just reiterating and wanting to highlight it here today. So your projects are due Thursday, October 2nd, the day of class, and your project should be submitted to info@letsoarnj.org. So I'll put that in the chat so you have it, and I'll also work with the administrator just to include it in the emails for next week. Okay, Nadia?
Okay, thank you. Thank you so
It's
much.
Sure.
actually in the email, Latoya, as an attachment. So Nadia, if you go to the email that you received for today's class, you can see the attached document that outlines everything that's required for the end of course.
Yeah, so I shared that, Rosie, but it doesn't have the document itself doesn't have the date, but so that's what I was saying is on the schedule. It's
Right.
just not on the actual document itself. But so Nadia, it's on the schedule. It says October 2nd, your end of course projects are due. But I'll just ensure just so it's very clear and highlighted the date and where to submit it. Okay, so that's the only two details you need. So it's October 2nd, info@letsoarnj.org. Okay. Thank you, Miss C.
Okay,
She put it
thank
in the
you.
chat.
Thank
Yep. So the documents in the chat, the end of course projects in the chat. And if you were here yesterday, Professor JR went over this document at length, probably 2 or 3 times. So if you have any questions, though, you can always follow up. Please ask questions. We don't want anyone to feel like you're not, fully aware of what's required of you to successfully complete the course. I'm sorry, Miss Kiana, go ahead. I know you were
Oh
asking a
no, I
question.
was just asking if you can see the presentation.
We can see it. It's not in presentation mode. Can I try one more thing with you, Miss Kiana? Can you click on present at the top? Let's try one more thing, and then if not, we're just gonna
How about
go
now?
with go with the Canva flow. No, we're still seeing what you were
Oh,
showing
I was
before.
outside of Canva. I had went into the PowerPoint. Like I took it in the
Oh,
point, but I guess it's not sharing or
maybe you
connecting.
have to stop sharing and reshare just to switch out your windows. Yeah.
Okay. I think just for the sake of time,
You're gonna stay in the setting, this setup.
I'm gonna yes, it's like when all else fails, you'll just move forward. But we're
Okay.
gonna have a good old time. Welcome, welcome everyone. Hi, my everyone. My name is Kiana. I am going to be your facilitator today. We're going to be talking about public speaking, crafting our pitch so that we have a successful opportunity to really pitch our business or at least learn the fundamentals that it will take for us to pitch a business. Whether you know all of the information for your business or if you're just starting out and you're wanting to become more comfortable with talking to others about your business idea. So, just quickly, what we're going to do now, I'm going to share my screen that looks a little wonky because sometimes when you have really important things, all of a sudden, technology becomes an issue. So, definitely, please bear with us or me as I am going to present. And for some reason it automatically went into this mode. Let's see. Okay.
Just click the X.
I did, and
X.
it X's out altogether.
And even if you click on enter full screen mode, it doesn't do anything.
Yep.
Okay.
So you're talking here.
Yeah, so right now we see audience window. This window is what your audience see. Drag it to the screen your audience will be looking at. We see that note, so it's covering your slides.
Oh, I don't see what you see.
I think,
Okay.
Kiana, when you originally selected the option for present, you clicked the presenter view mode. So I don't know if that's the issue. Maybe try to share it again and then just
And again, I'll go to
yeah.
Canva home, share.
Yep.
I'll go here and I will go to present.
You might
Present
have to
full
reshare
screen.
your screen. We're not seeing the presentation.
Oh, you're not seeing anything at all?
No,
We just
just
see your Canva.
I think if you share your entire desktop and then click on that way, if it switches windows, we can still follow you. Because I think that's the issue too. If you're on just one specific window, if you switch to another, we're not able to follow that.
Okay.
And then if you,
Let's see if this works. This might
yep,
work.
yep, there you
This
go. I'll click.
might work. We might
There you
get
go.
there.
There you go. Now full screen up at the, there you go. Woo! All right.
Thank you.
Teamwork, y'all.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Absolutely. So, today, in the time that we do have together, we are going to learn the fundamentals of pitching. And at the end of this, we all are going to be able to at least pitch our program or our business idea within 30 seconds to a minute. So, it's not going to be too much pressure, but we're going to have fun while we learn the skills to do that. And along the way, we're going to be giving each other feedback because feedback is a gift and it helps us to grow. We're going to do a quick wrap around where we're going to talk about some of the baggage that we might bring into our presentations or some of our fears. Then we're going to go over a few tips. We're going to have a fun activity where we're going to be working together to sell something that is really challenging. And then we're going to get to work in creating our pitches so that we can share it with everyone. Although next week, you will have more time to practice and be with your peers and support one another. Today, we are going to learn the skill, practice it a bit, and then on Tuesday, you're going to continue the practice. Is that correct, Miss Dawson? Professor Dawkins?
Yes.
All right. So let's talk about baggage. So we all know that when we travel, sometimes we bring way more things than we need. And sometimes when we're thinking about pitching our program or our business idea, a lot of the fears or the uncertainties kind of creep in and we bring them with us to our presentations. So, what we're going to do right now is we're going to get rid of some of that baggage, some of that stuff that we've overpacked that is not needed in order for us to have a successful presentation, a, a successful pitch. So, if you had to share one thing that that's challenging when it comes to public speaking or that you're a bit fearful of, what would you say is that one thing that when you think about having to speak about anything in front of people, you get hung up on it, or maybe you don't feel good about it, or you feel really nervous?
Michaela has her hand raised.
Okay, Michaela.
I think just the one thing for me is just seeing all of the people in the room and it's just like, what do I say? Like I just like it's just immediate blank. That's what's hard for me.
Okay. I like to take little notes so that when we get to a point where I can support you all in giving tips, I like to do that. So is that okay, Michaela?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else?
Yep, Ashley has her hand raised.
All right, Ashley.
For me, it's like getting like the feeling of like making maybe somebody like making fun of you or embarrassing you. And like also like when you get up there, you like forget what you want to say because of like all the people staring at you.
Yeah. So that fear of like people snickering and you not knowing why. Is it me or is it they're just having their own conversation and forgetting, right? Anyone else want to share? We're just going to blurt it out. It's fine.
Oh,
I'm going to be
Yeah,
picking
go
up.
ahead,
um,
Jayla.
I think that my biggest issue with like public speaking is trying not to look at whatever I'm presenting. So like trying to keep my eyes off of like the board or like even the notebook or even what I'm reading. I want to be able to memorize what I'm talking about.
Okay. So being able to memorize, the lack of being able to memorize, it gets in your head and it kind of throws you off of it. Okay. Anyone
Yeah,
else?
Jayra
My,
has her hand. Yeah.
All right.
mine is like just short attention span because it's not like I don't have a fear of public speaking. Like I really like it. It's just like I have a short attention span.
Okay. So is it that you're nervous that you might lose interest in the midst of you presenting, or because you may have a short attention span, thinking that whatever you're presenting, other people might not be interested after a certain time?
It's me losing interest in what I'm doing and like I'll just like sit back down.
Okay. That's a great perspective. I never thought of that. So thank you for sharing that. Okay. We'll go to the next person.
Yeah, Nadia.
Okay, so when I'm trying to present something, I always, when I feel nervous, I try to just smile and feel like make fun of myself, I would say so.
Okay. So is that
Like
how you
I
cope?
feel like embarrassed or something.
Okay. So it sounds like when you get nervous, you might use humor or laughter as like a coping
Yes.
mechanism to kind of get through it. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. That happens a lot. And we're going to talk about
Uh,
different verbal fillers and all the things. I think everything that each of you have shared are very common. Even though you may not think it, a lot of people are nervous when it comes to public speaking. Is there anyone else that wants to share?
Could I go?
Move on. Oh, absolutely.
I feel like mine would definitely be stuttering.
Okay. And is it in the beginning or once you start?
I feel like in the beginning I would definitely know what to say, 'cause like it's basically what everything would be about, but like I feel like towards the middle, I'll probably get all over the place and my words would start getting mixed up.
Yeah. So it might be filling in the time or losing track of what it is comes next, but your beginnings tend to be strong because you have practiced that the most. Awesome. Okay, so before we move on, is there anyone else that wants to share? Okay, there's no pressure. I want everyone to get what they came for in this session, right? So, as public speakers, what, now what? I'm hearing and seeing that some people are nervous that there's going to be so many people, or maybe there's going to be snickering, or the attention span is going to run out of expiration. You're going to hit that expiration time, and or the nerves might get the best of you and you end up laughing or doing something a bit distractive so that you can continue on going with your presentation. And last but not least, the idea of stuttering during a presentation. So I'm here to tell you, so what? What if it happens, right? We're all human. And I have done so many different public speaking events. And when I tell you whatever could go wrong, might go wrong, and the show still goes on. So there may be a time that I forget my line, or I mix up my cue cards and now I'm all out of sync. Or like today, I've been on Zoom all day for work. Everything worked out. Now it's time for me to do a presentation for S.O.A.R. And now all of a sudden, it's as if I'm seeing Zoom for the first time ever. That does not mean that I'm gonna stop and not move forward. So the fear is gonna be there, and I don't want to tell you that you're never gonna be nervous. Let's lean into the nerves and let's make it work for us. So there may be a time that you might stutter. That does not mean that you don't know what you're about to talk about. There may be a time that someone might snicker or laugh. The truth is, you don't know why they're snickering or laughing. And if you know that you're there for a purpose, just continue with their purpose. Because for that one person, there's about 50 other people that came to get exactly what you were going to serve them. Does that make sense? So the whole point is, what happened, all of those things that you shared, each person shared, it actually might happen. The good thing is, so what? Now what? What do we do with that? Do we stop and feel defeated, or do we push through? Because at the end of that, you might have an investor that is so impressed with your ability to move forward, just even though all the challenges that you had to face, they love your endurance, they love your tenacity, they love the fact that you didn't give up on yourself, and they're willing to invest in your idea because you have character. So the ability to move through challenging situations builds character. And when you are an entrepreneur and you're a person who's putting yourself out there, your product, your passions out there will be challenges, but you also will gain a lot of character through it. Does that make sense? So hopefully you leave knowing that it's okay if things and challenges happen. Just now what? Let's stick in the now what? Now what? Let's push forward. There's a bunch of people who want to hear about your idea, and it doesn't matter that you stuttered. It doesn't matter that you jumbled your words. It doesn't matter that 100 people are in the room. All you need is that one person that's going to believe in you. So now let's talk about the logistics. When we're thinking about pitching our programs, our ideas, there's a lot of thing that goes into it, and it's all about planning and preparation. So the first thing is, you want to know what you're getting into. You want to know, what is the purpose, who's going to be there, am I there to inform someone about my product, am I there to persuade someone? to think about my idea? Am I there to entertain? Because part of my business is all about entertainment. It's really important that you know your audience. When you do your pitch to S.O.A.R next week, well, next week or the week after, you really want to think about who's going to be on the panel. What are some of the things that I learned about the individuals over the course of this program? How do I use that to my benefit when I'm thinking about my pitch, right? You also want to research your audience. What are their dislikes, their likes? You might not know all the answers, but you also have mentors that you can tap into. Ask them questions to help you better prepare for your pitch day. So, while the pitch day is important, all of the footwork that you do before your pitch day is equally important. So, thinking about all those sessions that you had before this session, what did you learn? How can you apply that to your pitch? How does that make your business have more clarity and more understanding for other people who could be potential buyers or investors? You also want to learn to love the logistics. Where are you speaking about your business? It sounds like you're going to be on Zoom, but there will come a time where you might have to pitch your programs in person. What does that look like? Pitching and doing presentations over Zoom looks very different than when you're in front of people. So, thinking about that, are you indoors? Are you outdoors? Is anyone's view blocked? How many people are going to be on Zoom? What do you want as your background? So there's different elements that you can start to prepare now or start thinking creatively so that you can stand out when you do your pitch. So if it's going to be on Zoom, they're used to seeing the back of your room. Maybe you go into Canva and you create a Zoom background. You all can create Canva accounts for free. Or maybe you have a backdrop. What can you do to stand out on your pitch day? You also want to be memorable. And it doesn't mean that we're asking you to do flips. But what I will say is that there are different people that we try to emulate, or there's very famous people or great public speakers out there. They could be performers, poets, actors, actresses, activists, parents, friends that are just great at being memorable. What are some things that help you to remember people? So if you could think of something that you remember, a performance, a lecture, a presentation, or just something that you'll never forget, what made that person memorable? Anyone wants to go? I can't see the names. For some reason, my screen is not showing, but does anyone want to share a person that is memorable and why? I'm going to take three. Anyone?
You guys should come off mute.
So before anyone, if it's a shy group, we're going to get less shy as we go through it. Let's think about Martin Luther King Jr., right? He has a very famous speech called I Have a Dream. Why do you think, out of all the speeches, that speech is so memorable? What about it? Let's think about techniques that he probably used in his speech to help everyone remember that speech over other speeches.
Michaela's hand is raised. And Nadia unmuted earlier.
Okay, so Michaela and Nadia.
Maybe it was so memorable because of the impact that it had on the world, essentially.
Okay, so sometimes the after effect of a presentation or a speech is the reason why it's memorable. I love that. Michaela. Oh, Nadia.
Yeah, I feel like people just have like charisma and they are not shy. in the big audience.
Okay.
They don't, they feel themselves and they are not shy to express themselves.
Okay. I love
Like
that. So sometimes
they
it's
don't feel
personality,
scared.
right? So having charisma, the it factor, right, could definitely gravitate, like help people gravitate towards you. Also, there are times that you might be a shy person and still be memorable. So I don't want anyone to think that you have to be an extrovert or you have to be this big personality in order to be memorable. There are a lot of people who are quiet and mighty. And for I Have a Dream speech, he says, I have a dream so much that if you didn't get anything from that speech, you knew I have a dream. So the idea of repetition helps people to remember the most important piece to a presentation, a speech, or a pitch. So thinking about your product, thinking about how you want to present your idea, repetition might be a technique that you use in order for people to remember you. Another thing is having a hook. So, thinking about something that can capture people's attention in the beginning. It could be maybe what you wear. Some people like to wear really vibrant colors when they do pitches. Why? Because the go to color might be black for other people. But this person is like, I'm going to wear a color so that when they talk about me, they'll say, oh, Kiana, I think she's the one that wore that yellow. Or I have my shirt on, right? And this is from my business and it's a light bulb. And I chose the light bulb because I said it I help people come up with ideas. I love coming up with ideas and I help people figure things out and I help to problem solve. So for me, the light bulb was a great indicator. And when I do things for people, sometimes I'll get little tchotchkes or things to give away, and I try to make them yellow, or I have light bulbs so that people can remember Spark Leadership, Kiana, light bulbs. So there's different things that you can do, and it doesn't necessarily have to be attached to your personality. It could be your brand. And here we have Steve Jobs. What is he known for? And anyone can blurt it out.
Is Steve Jobs the one
iPhone, Apple,
that made
right?
Apple?
So the idea that this one apple that's eaten, anywhere you look, we all know, oh, that's an Apple product. We know the brand, right? So that's memorable. So some of you, it might be all about your icon, about your branding that makes you memorable. So there's so many reasons why someone could be memorable. You need to think about your business idea, what's going to make me memorable, because that's the thing that's going to keep future funders or people that hear your pitch remember who you are. So it doesn't have to be anything grand, but it could be the smallest thing. It could be the customer service. It could be how you speak to people. It could be how you set it up or the experience. So I have this thing called 7 seconds, and there are a lot of things that are connected to 7 seconds. Seven is a very popular number for a lot of different reasons. Why might be why might 7 be just as important when you think about pitching an idea? What do you think the 7 seconds is about? So 7 seconds is the attention that you can grab someone's attention when doing a pitch. You want to grab their attention within the first 7 seconds. 7 seconds is also connected to how quick someone will scan a resume. 7 seconds is also someone making an idea or coming up with an idea as to whether or not this person will be a good candidate in an interview. So 7 seconds has everything to do with first impressions. So, what is going to be your 7 seconds when you do your pitch? So, although we're asking you to come up with a 30-second pitch to a 1 minute pitch, the first 7 seconds is so important. It captures your audience, it also lays out what they can expect for the duration of your pitch. So, what you do in the beginning is so important. And I think someone talked about that in the beginning, they don't see themselves stuttering because they know what they want to say, they know the impact that they want to have. It's in the middle, right? So when we think about the first 7 to 10 seconds, you really want to come out the gate impressing them, showing your character, showing them who you are, what your business is all about, or at least making a great first impression. Oops. So now I want to finish out by saying it's going to be really important that you practice. So even over the weekend, if you just take 20 minutes out of your day for the next couple of days until the day of your pitch to just practice. You never want to practice on the day of. You want to make sure that you feel comfortable. The only way for you to feel comfortable with your material is if you actually practice it. Practice it with your family members, practice it in the mirror. You might laugh at yourself. I've done it many a times and I laughed. But the good thing is, sometimes laughter helps you to relax. So the more you do it, record yourself, maybe put your phone up, record it. Like for me, I have stuff like this, right? Where I can record myself, I can prop it up anywhere, record myself and then watch. I like to see, what are my hands doing? Am I talking clearly? Am I giving good eye contact? How comfortable? What am I doing? What are my mannerisms? What is the other person going to experience on the other side? And you won't know that unless you practice. Also, time yourself. Give yourself 1 minute and try not to go over the time frame that they're going to give you to pitch your program. So sometimes people are going to give you 2 minutes, sometimes they'll give you 5, 10 minutes, whatever it is. Always lessen it a little bit because there are going to be times where people might cut you off or other people might go over. And then by the time it gets to you, it's going to be less time. So I like to have two different versions: the real version that fits within the time frame that they give me, and a shortened version just in case I have to make it short and sweet. And for those of you who are super shy or get really nervous, you can think of this as a performance. So, like all those actors on Broadway, when it's showtime, they turn into their character. Sometimes it's really scary being you and performing in front of people. But what if you said, let me just act as if I'm the CEO already of my company and I had to do this pitch? I'm already successful. So let me do the pitch as if I've already made it. And this is just another day where I'm pitching a program that is already funded. You might go in there with a bit more confidence because it's not where you are now, is where you know you will be in the future, right? So, what do you like to see from a good presenter and begin to emulate that? Doesn't mean you have to copy them. You want to be authentic to who you are, but sometimes faking it until we make it is going to help us get through that one moment, if that makes sense. We're about to do a quick activity on pitches. But first, I just want to go over what are some key things that when we want to pitch something, people need to know. Some things that you want to do is, I like to tell you about what is the product, what is the company's name. So many people do a pitch and they forget to tell us all the important details. Like, what's your contact information? What's the name of the product? What's the name of your business? You want to use some descriptive words. So if it's food, what are some of the flavors? What are some of the items? What does it taste like? Who is it best for? What are the benefits? That's where it gets to how will it improve your life. Some of you are coming up with programs. What is that program going to do? Is there a specific community or population that it's targeting? I know that we want to make products for everyone, but the smaller or more precise of the immediate individuals that you want to impact, the better. So when you generalize everything, it doesn't help to really make it clear who your audience is. You can definitely grow your audience, grow the individuals that you want to impact, but in the beginning, really when you close your eyes, who's the person, place, or thing that you have in your mind when you think about your business? So for me, with Spark Leadership, when I was doing team building, I automatically thought about organizations. I could have thought about small groups of friends because that's fun and I don't mind doing that. But when I closed my eyes and I thought about my passion, when I thought about my skill sets, I said, I'm really great at helping companies find solutions to building cohesive teams. So that's why a lot of the work that I do is geared towards school administrators, organizations, corporations, because those are the people who work on teams that might need support in connecting, being more efficient, and working together, right? So when you think of your product, when you think of it could be a t-shirt business, a sneaker business, an after school, when we think about S.O.A.R and its mission, and I'm pretty sure when they all got together and they thought, like, when we have this program, who do we have in mind, right? It could have been for adults, but that's not who they thought about when they thought about the vision, right? So when when Professor McCamery came up with the vision for S.O.A.R, she thought about you all, you being the benefactors of this service. She thought about the travel, right? And the exposure to hospitality, the exposure to becoming entrepreneurs. So when you close your eyes, what comes up for you when you think about your idea? And now we're going to go to the fun. We're going to break you out in groups of 2 to 3, and each room is going to be named something. So you might end up in the room with a scrub with no scent. So the goal is that you and your team has to sell this very challenging item to a specific audience. So one person, one team might get scrub with no scent. Another team has to sell a mic that doesn't have sound. Another group might have to sell a cup that has no bottom, so it's hollow. Another group might have to sell a clock that has no hands, and the last group may get flavorless gum. The goal is you still have to sell this item even though it's a challenge to sell. So in the beginning, when I talked about the pitch, I said, what is your product's name? Give us some descriptions. What is so important about your product? Why would we want to buy it? How does it improve my life? Why do I need it? Right? How much does it cost? How can I get it? What's the name of the product? So you want to think about those things when you come up with the pitch. You're all going to get 5 minutes in your groups to come up with a pitch to sell this item. And you have to have an audience member in mind. Okay, so we're going to break out into our rooms and then we're going to get 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes to come up with a pitch to sell the item. Cool? Any questions?
No.
All right. So I guess we are going to go into our Zoom rooms
Yeah. Professor Kiana, can you just tell me the names? I have 4 rooms set up based on the
Okay,
scholars here.
so we'll do cup with no bottom.
Okay.
Then we'll have a mic with no sound,
Okay.
flavorless gum. What should be the other one? And a scrub with no scent.
Body scrub, right?
Yes, a body scrub with no scent. Or a clock with no hands, whichever one you choose.
Okay, I did the body scrub with no scent. So it's 4 rooms. 5 minutes is good, or
Yes,
we could
5 minutes.
always, okay.
Yeah.
We could always gauge it. Okay. I'm going to open the room, scholars, so just click on join when you see it, and we'll see you back in a little bit.
So, all right. So I know that wasn't a lot of time, but I'm sure that all of you are going to give us some great creative ideas and pitches. And if you can do that for this within 5 minutes for an item that you didn't know you were going to talk about, imagine what you are going to do with your companies and your business ideas. So I guess we'll start, since we have about 4 different rooms. We will start with the body scrub with no scent. So we are going to ask that, let's see, Noya and is it a body scrub with no scent? We had 2 people in that room.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, it
so.
was two.
I think
It
that
was
was
two
one
of
of them.
us.
All right. So you both ready? It's okay. It's all right. Ben, you only got 5 minutes.
We didn't.
So
We
you'll be
didn't fully get to finish, but
okay. So would you rather me? Well, we still have to listen to everyone, so it's okay. We're gonna learn with each other. The good thing is that we're gonna go through this together, and then we're gonna give each other feedback, and we're gonna knock it out the park, right? When we do our own. This is just practice. The real stuff is when you start talking about the program and your ideas that you know, because it lives here. So no worries. It's okay.
okay. Okay. I'd like to tell you about our product. I'd like to tell you about our product, Earth Kiss. It's a fragrance-free, all-natural body scrub for people with sensitive skin that'll leave you feeling kissed by the earth. It's a low-cost, budget-friendly product around the price range of $10 to $20. And that's all we got.
Okay. And what's the product's name again?
It's called Earth Kissed.
All right, so let's give them a round of applause. Y'all can unmute yourselves and give some round of applause or something. It's a hard crowd in here. So one, I just want to say you both said that y'all didn't have it together, but I got product details. There was a name for a product. You gave me pricing. You told me what the benefits were. I don't know. Maybe I wasn't in the same room as the rest of y'all, but it sounds like you have a really good start to a product, if you ask me. Anyone else? Any positives? And I love the name. I love the name of the product, Earth Kiss. Like, okay, I want that scrub. All right. So thank you guys so much. How do you feel? How do you feel about it?
I feel like we did good, but if we had more time, we could do better for sure. And like we could go because I was writing it down, so she didn't like have it to like say it with me. But if we had like written it down. We could have like incorporated a way to say it together.
So you see how you were able to pull it together within 5 minutes for something that you didn't know anything about? Imagine what your pitch is going to sound like when it comes to your program and idea. So those elements of telling us descriptive words, you gave your product a name, we know how much it costs. You came up with all of that in 5 minutes. That's really impressive. Thank you so much. Great job. Great job. All right. So who is next? Who wants to go next? How about cup with no bottom? I know people are like, oh gosh, what is going on?
Okay, I I can go for this one. Our name is No Bottom Cup. A cup with no bottom. Hear us out. With this cup, you can make uncrustless circular sandwiches. It can be fun for children as it is a different type of sandwich shape, or it can be for the people that love circular sandwiches. That is all we have.
Okay, this is a great start. Let's give a round of applause. Listen, or this, right? So just taking a cup with no bottom and flipping it on its head and saying, guess what? You thought it was about a cup with no bottom. Make sandwiches, like new type of sandwiches, circular sandwiches. What was the name of your product? The circular sandwich?
No Bottom Cup or NBC, if you want to
No
shorten.
bottom cup. But when we think about it, we might want to think about how so in pitching it, you could say, here we have a cup with no bottom.
Or what about the decrustable?
What happened?
What about the decrustable?
I like the decrustables, right? Like
there's a lot of more people too, because the uncrustable, it's a similar name, so they'll be like, oh, takes off the crust. Like instead of making like straight peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, we can make a wider variety of sandwiches using this decrustable cup.
Oh, wait a minute. You all are sitting on gold over here. I'm serious. Let's go. So the uncrustables, we got uncrustables, we got Earth's Kiss. Like we coming up with an entire product. I don't know, Professor McCameron, you might have to got some other patents going on over here in this class. So that's
I'm
exciting.
hearing it. I'm hearing it. Good
And
stuff.
I love that it's creative. You all are being creative. You're having fun with it. And you don't have to have all the answers. But look at what you did come up with in that short amount of time. So awesome job. Let's go to the next. Did we say flavorless gum? And then Mike with no sound.
Yeah, we did flavorless gum.
Oh,
So we came up with the idea we would name it as Smarts. And because chewing gum can help reduce stress because it makes your body feel more relaxed. And also, a study showed that chewing gum can help people focus and stay calm in stress situation. Like you have an exam and you can chew a gum and you feel more calm and you concentrated. It also can improve memory because your body remembers your movements and your memories at that time.
Okay.
It makes
And how are we
it
going to
easier
close
to
it out?
remember information while studying or learning.
Awesome. So how are we going to close it out? We got smarts, right? So
Yeah.
this is your pitch. Smarts.
can I try it?
Yes, absolutely. Come
Okay.
on.
So I'd like to tell you about Smarts, our stress-free gum. It is a gum that you can chew on in class if you're ever hungry, stressed, or you need to remember something for a test. It helps you out with stress because usually when you chew gum, it like kind of calms you down. It helps you with memory because like muscle memory. So when you're chewing the gum, you can also remember chewing the gum and remember happened in that moment. And then it also helps with other
I
things.
I love what you already did say, right? So we don't want to overwhelm the purchaser. You both
Mhm.
gave us a lot to think about, and you already sold me. I want the gum because
Mhm.
I need all of it. But how much is it?
It costs $5 for a pack of like 20. And you can get it by going to like your local store.
Okay.
And I would add that our slogan could be like smarts, think, learn, and win.
Think, learn, and earn.
And
And
win.
win.
Oh, okay.
Like
Listen.
you want to test. You got 100. You want to test.
So then what I'm also getting is that your audience are students. So that's pretty cool. Like, do you see how you're starting to formulate your research and development around who your target audience is? Why would this audience member want it? And if you're going for students, they want to do well in school, you're using the product, you're calling it smarts. When you're in school, we want to be smart, right? So all of these things you're thinking about, you're connecting the dots, and this is all marketing. This is what you need to do up front. So I love it. Thank you. Round of applause. Or and last but not least, we have Mike with no sound. Let's see what you got.
Could I go?
Sure.
Okay. Let me see. So, tired of noisy background? Don't want anyone to hear embarrassing details on mic? Well, we introduce you to our new product called Echo. Echo can appeal to a wide range of audience, but our target audience is those looking for basic privacy or reduced background noise. Say goodbye to horrible quality mics and say hello to the new future. Prices may vary depending on the model. However, the lowest is starting at 30. We offer a guaranteed refund within 30 days of purchase. And that's all I have.
Okay, Echo. That's all you have. That's a full out, thought out script if I haven't heard one already. So congratulations. I love the fact that you took this hard to sell item, which is when people think of mic, they normally want there to be noise. And you've taken something that no longer has noise and you said, here's echo, and it has that cancellation of noise, right? So again, you could be as creative as you would like. And I see everyone's creative juices running because I know you're thinking about your own product, your own program. If you have more time with these products, I think you literally could actually come up with, all four of you came up with solid, not four of you, but all four groups came up with really solid ideas that could actually become real products. So just letting you know that it's this easy, right? Like people have become millionaires from an idea in a moment. So once you have that idea and then you couple that with creativity, strategy, and a good pitch, it's gold, right? Because you don't need everyone to buy your product, but you need the right people to buy it. And once you have a good audience, then you're good to go. So now that we have gone through that, let's take a quick break. We're going to take a 5-minute break. But when we come back, we're going to spend the rest of the time, the 5 minutes, you practicing or coming up with a preliminary pitch of your own idea based on your business. So we just practiced doing that for a product that we knew nothing about. When we come back, we're going to take a 5-minute break and then we're going to spend 5 minutes working on our own. We're going to do the same thing, but we're only going to do it for our own business. So if you want to take some of your break doing that, that's fine. But let's take 5 minutes. You can close off your camera. You can go into your creative space, check your TikTok, whatever it is that you're doing. We're going to take a 5-minute break. When we come back, then we're going to get started with outlining our own business pitch. See you soon.
See you.
Don't go too far.
Dilly. Okay, 100 grand, 100K. Yeah, 100 grand, 100K, 100 bands, what a day. Underneath the sun ain't nothing new